cold. Wait. Then perhaps you do have business here. Forgive me. I'm Raquel of the Frostmoon Pack. Welcome, brother.
A car. Majni's brother. I hunt. He talks. Go talk to him.
Welcome, brother. I am Majni, Alpha of the Frostmoon Pack. You are welcome here, so long as you respect me. There is one more thing. I sent here. Take a look. The blood still runs true among some on
Need something?
Solstheim,
For
as it
now.
has for
My pack
centuries.
lived in the mountains
We
northeast
have
of here,
chosen to
till they were
embrace
wiped
Lord
out.
Hircine's
Damn
blessing.
werebears. Majni offered to help me reclaim my territory. I hunt with him until then. After that, we'll see. Goodbye, whelp. Do you need something?
Greetings, Bloodkin.
Welcome, brother. Since I was born, my parents were members of... After they died, Majni and Akar took care of me. Taught me to hunt. I'm not as good as they are. I do my best.
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth? I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Carius' exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock. Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Carius. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful. It can be. Even the most experienced warriors can fall prey to petty distractions. They usually didn't amount to much, but they make my job that much harder. Some of my own men have become quite accustomed to a spirit they called Emberbrand wine. Despise the stuff myself. It's powerful and tremendously addicting. I've seen men fail to finish even a single flask. If I knew where they were stashing the bottles, I'd put an end to it myself. You would? That would be helpful. I just don't have time to do it myself right now. They're too smart to have left it in the bulwark. I'd search one of the abandoned houses on the outskirts of town. Find me that stash of wine. I'm itching to be rid of it.
Yeah, so, what can I get you? Got everything from potions to pitchforks.
Miserable.
East Empire pendants
Just
are scattered
miserable.
all over. So
Oh, I
leave
hate
no
this
stone.
place.
Let's get indoors.
If you're looking to buy, then I'm looking to sell.
Glover Mallory's the name. Either you're here to get showered in sparks, or you're looking for something to buy. Out with it.
You
Bring
want
your
something
weapons and
from me?
armor to me. I'll fix it up right. Steve, need something? Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up
Khajiit
right.
got your back. I will shoulder some of your burden. Will follow.
You've been a good... Sure. Feel free to hand me all the gold you want. Lead on, then.
I will shoulder some of your burden. Lead on, friend. Khajiit will follow. If anyone sneaks up, I will shoulder some of your burden. We follow them.
Yes.
I'm no fan of the sun. I'd be better than this.
If you witness suspicious activity...
With the Ashbourne threat taken care of, give my men the rest they deserve. Well done.
Can I help you? You're back. Please, tell me what you found. Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rockfall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone. Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do. Mark my words. Raven, those cowards left decades ago. Every single damned one of them. The moment the ebony mine dried up, they pulled up stakes. Ridiculous. Solstheim is still rich in ebony ore. I know there's more down there. I can smell it. I come from 3 generations of miners, and I'm telling you that the East Empire Company was wrong. They just didn't want to spend the coin trying to find it. Our home has stood in Raven Rock since the colony was founded. Gratian helped build it with his own 2 hands. After Gratian died, he left behind a wife and a son. My grandfather, Relicus. Relicus lived there for quite a long time, working in the other sections of the mine until he was slain by reavers. I never knew my father. My mother and I always lived alone. I asked her about him many times, but she seemed angry and refused to speak about him. So eventually, I let it go. When I was old enough, I began working in the mine, hoping to make my fortune and eventually move to the Imperial City. Unfortunately, yes. I only had enough coins saved to send one of us back to the Imperial City. So I sent my mother alone. I wanted her to see her homeland before she died. Until I met my darling Aphia, yes. I suppose you could have called me a bitter old hermit. Now I'm just old. Mark my words. Raven Rock isn't finished yet.
Allow me to apologize for Cretius's behavior. I'm afraid he hasn't been himself lately. Don't be put off by my husband's mood. He enjoys having visitors. To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cretius is a 3rd-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cretius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard. Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories. Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out. It was after refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cretius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body. I stayed for a while and cared for him, then I suppose we fell in love. Far from it. In fact, I'm no longer welcome there. In all honesty, it came down to a disagreement between what I believe and what Elder Othraloth believes. I'd prefer not to get into the details, but let's just say our opinions about the current status of the Tribunal vary widely. Be careful out there.
I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Counselor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent. All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the ash spawn. Please, go speak to the second counselor as soon as possible.
What are you doing that for?
Good morning.
Merkel doesn't lend coin to outlanders.
Sense
Look somewhere else.
You can't get blood from a stone.
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head. It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. May be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Raven Rock. Raven Rock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Raven Rock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstein. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival. Traitors, the lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance. House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later,
House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction. Don't worry. You can trust Gelvis. He's been with us for a long time.
Always nice to speak to someone from the mainland. I hope you enjoy your stay in Raven Rock.
It's always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by.
With the Ashspawn threat taken care of, I can
Destroying
give
the
my men
Ashspawn has made it safer to work in the fields. Thank you. Looking for any potions? Ingredients? Alchemical supplies? After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lami, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit. It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal. When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstheim, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help. As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstheim. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark. That would be splendid. I'd be more than happy to give you something for the effort. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Careful with those netches. They may look tame, but they can seriously Allow me to apologize for Crucius's behavior. I'm afraid he hasn't been himself
Your actions here
lately.
have been a blessing to us all, sir.
My husband Vendel feared
If you ever need apothecary supplies, talk to my wife, Milore. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
It's busier now that things are starting to look up. I guess I might stay a bit longer after all. Bad. What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends at the East Empire Company and see if they need an extra hand in Windhelm. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've corresponded with Vittoria Vici herself more than once. You know, the lady who runs the East Empire Company warehouse in Solitude. The biggest warehouse they have in Skyrim. Ah, you're just like the rest of the folks around here. Mark my words. The East Empire Company will return to Raven Rock. And when they do, I'll be at the top of their list. The East Empire pendants are scattered all over, so leave no stone.
Don't be put off by my husband's mood.
Glover Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best. What's the hurry?
Destroying the ash spawn has made it safe to work in the caves. Those East Empire people should be ashamed of those nets. Looking for any potions? Ingredients? Alchemical supplies?
My husband
Your actions here have been a blessing to us.
Miserable. Just miserable.
Mistaken.
Oh, I hate this place. Keep yourself.
Damn ash.
The entire island isn't covered in ash, you know. They have huge ice fields up north, and it's freezing.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem?
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sue Jammer that will ever grace your lips. How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. Coast has been dangerous lately. Lot of reavers about. I've heard they're searching for the treasure of Acnir Deathbrand, the Pirate King. If you've got gold on your hands, you might talk to Rallis up a call beyond Barrow. I've heard he wants to excavate the place. Nothing specific, but I'm hearing rumblings of assassins living amongst us. I think they intend to target Councillor Morvain, but I can't be certain. Haven't heard anything lately, but check back with me. You never know. There's actually a funny story. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujamma in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. The finest Sujamma to cross your lip. In fact, all I need to do is get the word out. I was kind of hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujama and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you. Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Well, Zura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulans for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulan ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I haven't? Anytime Adril and the Redarin Guard made a move, the Ulans must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. When a Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. Back in 95, Vila Ulin came to Raven Rock with a plan to take over our town. The Fetcher thought he could stir up the locals and use them against the Redarin Guard, and then murder Consular Morvain when we weren't looking. He arrived alone, but spread enough coin around to start changing people's minds. Half the bloody town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redarin Guard. They were organized and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Velith himself. Vila Ulan was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulan ancestral tomb. Watch yourself out there. Looks like an ash storm might be brewing.
You look able to venture outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost. A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition book. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived. Yes, the damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine? One of the sailors survived. Poor thing. Before he died, he told the Redarin Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with Reaver. Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, my lord. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you. Sorry, Geldis won't allow me to drink while I'm working at the Netch. Safe travels.
So I certainly have the means to reward.
Milor over at the Ienth farm should be still mixing potions.
What is it?
I'll give you this warning. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Until next time.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.